Okay, hello everyone, my name is Laquan Williams, and today in this video I'm going to be talking about and doing my review of the last episode of Dexter's Season 1, Episode 10 finale of Dexter New Blood, the renewed Dexter Morgan series that has been happening for the past about, let's see, about 9-10 weeks now. So the original Dexter show ended in 2014. It was on for about 7 seasons from about 2007 to, actually, I think it was 2004, 2011. Yeah, something around there. But it ended. It ended obviously years ago. It had 7 seasons, and then that was basically it. I watched all of them, the seasons, back years ago when it was about the fourth or fifth season going in, so I could recap exactly what was happening based off of obviously me watching it on Showtime and just trying to catch up with it. So when it was announced that Michael C. Hall will be coming back to play Dexter Morgan, I of course obviously was very excited, and I was like, I'm gonna watch it. Obviously, it's on Showtime and Hulu and Amazon. But if you have Hulu, you can buy a $5 extension on Hulu to watch the show on there, since it's a Showtime exclusive. But it's only $5 per month, basically, in order to watch it on Hulu, in case you can't watch it on Amazon or you don't want to buy the Showtime Plus subscription service. But because there's so many different ones out there. And essentially, what obviously wrapping this up, obviously, Dexter's been living it as a new man in Silver Lake, which is a small town in upstate New York. He is going under the name Jim Lindsay, working at a sporting goods slash hunting and rifle store, because it's in basically a small town, which is, like I said, Silver Lake in upstate New York, a small town where a bunch of hunting goes on. It's very cold. It's like there's snow there every day. Obviously, it's very cold. It's like Fargo mixed with Dexter. And about the second or third episode, they actually mention Fargo actually by name. So it's kind of funny like about that, to see that, and obviously to see what was going on. Obviously, it's not Minnesota, so it's different, but it's still, like I said, it feels like Fargo and Dexter mixed in together, which it is. Murder mystery. Dexter did crack and solve the case with Kurt Caldwell, exposing that he is the killer, even though no one actually knew about that at all. Kind of crazy to see how one serial killer was the one who dug up in the secrets and exposed another serial killer in another town, who's been terrorizing the town for over 25 years, stalking, kidnapping, killing, and torturing young girls and older women. I would say teenage girls to about obviously middle age, obviously in their mid-20s women, and no one knew about it but him. So he figured that out, obviously. And what we saw in this final episode was the end of the show in a series. There's possibly a second season being teased by the showrunner, whose name is Clyde Phillips. But judging by how many comments that are on this page that you can see on this Deadline.com article by other people who have watched the show, fans, including myself, no one really cares for a second season. And honestly, this ending wasn't a big, huge, shocking twist like how they continue to obviously tease us when we watch these shows. This whole Dexter obviously being pictured here taking his mugshot, that was given away actually at the end of the last episode, which was season 1, episode 9 of New Blood. So we obviously already knew Dexter was going to be brought into custody. But I thought the twist is going to be that was him taking his picture with him and Harrison under the new identities, because obviously he had to pay somebody lots of money to have a new identity presumed in Silver Lake, obviously, because his real name's Dexter Morgan. They didn't know about that until like the last 3 episodes of the show. So he obviously made up a new name and took on this new identity down there. So who exactly did he pay to do that? That was never exposed or revealed. His second season with Harrison being obviously the new Dexter, no one, including myself, sees any interest in that. There was no big, huge, shocking twist. When you watch these shows like on like Dexter or any of these CW TV shows, all these comic book shows and anything with TV, when people like to tease stuff, they and even the Blacklist or any of these shows, I've been watching a lot of them. Blacklist, Burn Notice, Sons of Anarchy, Dexter from the beginning, the Green Arrow, the Flash. When you see these Legends of Tomorrow or Black Lightning, when you see any of these shows or any of these showrunners teasing finales, they do a great way of overselling it, because they have to do that in order for people to watch So the BS meter is obviously off the charts, but this working theory that this was going to be so shocking and whatnot actually wasn't, because more the last 3 weeks, 8 weeks, I've been reviewing the show. Dexter killing Harrison, which obviously what actually happened was no surprise. That was actually one of the working theories, that either Dexter killed Harrison, or they both got away, or Harrison was able to help Dexter kill Kurt Caldwell, which actually did not happen in the last episode, which was season 1, episode 9, Dexter New Blood. Harrison watched his father Dexter kill Kurt Caldwell right in front of him as the new recruit, obviously with Dexter teaching Harrison the code and letting him know about his dark past that he has. The talks of normality in this show about how that would take place as far as life goes for them was never going to be new. Essentially what happened, obviously, Dexter and Harrison were doing just fine when they were trying to pick out their collectibles and their obviously clothes out of their burnt house that Kurt Caldwell burnt. Angela came there with the police. It was a full police search team everywhere. The CSI were there. They were checking everything, and they got ruled as arson, which we obviously knew that. Angela confronted Dexter and told him about that. Said, "Do you have any enemies? Have you crossed anybody recently?" No. They went to then obviously after that, Dexter told Harrison that they had to leave because of this. Harrison did not obviously want to leave. He did not want to move. Dexter suggested that they move to Los Angeles because it's not safe for them here, and that obviously they don't want to be exposed and caught, especially with Angela looking into Dexter and Dexter knowing that. So essentially what happened was, after that happened, they went to have dinner with Harrison, obviously Angela, who was the police chief of this Silver Lake small town in upstate New York, who Dexter has been dating for years now under the new name Jim Lindsay. We're about to have dinner with her, Harrison, and her adoptive daughter. Obviously, Harrison is in love with her, and it just talks about them moving together, which was never going to happen in the first place. Even after their house got burned down, she couldn't trust Dexter. So, anyways, they went there. Went to eat. They went to leave to get ice cream. She told them to leave actually on purpose because she had a plan. She pulled a gun out on Dexter and told Dexter, "Get on the ground, put your hands behind your head." Then the black police officer, Coach Logan of the wrestling team, who Harrison's very close with, comes in a couple minutes later, pulls the gun out on Dexter as well, and they read him his rights and arrest him. Take him to the police station. Obviously, you see he gets his mugshot. They fingerprint him. Then they interrogate him as well about Kurt Caldwell, and he says he did not kill him. He does not know anything about that. And Dexter obviously is very good at this. Angela's not, so he's manipulating her very well, bringing up Iris. He almost said her name, but she said not to say it, and he spun the tables on her and got her emotional, got her out of character, so much so that the black police officer, Captain Logan, had to come in and tell her to calm down because they need this tape to be clean without her yelling at Dexter, because that looks unprofessional, because they're trying to use this in court with the district attorney and the lawyers and stuff and the judge. And that obviously looks unprofessional if you're yelling at the witness, even though you have them dead to rights for murder, is what she believes. She comes at Dexter with the, "You killed Kurt Caldwell. We know you're the Bay Area butcher." She shows them the evidence of all the dead bodies. Surprisingly, of course, funny how she found out about the whole Matt Caldwell situation. She did not Kurt. Kurt wasn't even brought up at all until Dexter did. It's like, oh yeah, we all forgot about Kurt after he got away with killing that last girl. Dexter had to be the one to bring that up again and say, oh yeah, he actually killed all those girls, and the address to where he killed, where he stuffed all their bodies, I can show you it. And he actually gives it to her after interrogating her. She interrogates Dexter, Angela. The springs that were in Matt Caldwell's body from his broken bones from that accident that he caused with a boat crash where he killed several people and his father got him out of it. Dexter was able to leave those springs in his house, but of course the house burned down. But surprisingly so, Angela was able to find them in the rubble. I thought that was really pathetic and so cheesy. Like, she just found them immediately after she looked. It didn't tell Logan anything until after... well, actually, she didn't even tell him anything. She said, I have some working theories about what's going on. She didn't give him the full scoop, so she was leaving stuff out, so she was obviously untrustworthy. But seriously, this whole last episode, it was a terrible season finale. Actually, you know, I know some people say the Dexter original season finale was bad. No, actually, this was worse. it was actually worse. I actually watched that Dexter fading away into the midst of that hurricane in the boat and faking his death, because that was actually way more entertaining than this. And then him, putting Deborah's body in the river to essentially bury it. Obviously, that was more entertaining than this because we didn't see that actually happen. We didn't know what was going to happen, myself included. This obviously was a working theory. We knew obviously what was going to happen. Harrison was either going to kill Dexter, or him and Dexter were going to get away themselves, or possibly Harrison would be killed. That would be an actual big twist if he got killed trying to help Dexter get out of jail. Coach Logan shot him, and Harrison couldn't make it, and he died, and Dexter buried him, and Dexter went to Argentina to live the rest of his life, or him and Harrison got away because he had helped Dexter, his dad, escape from jail, kill Captain Logan, who was obviously his wrestling coach, the black police officer, and also probably evade Angela as well. But none of that that didn't happen. So obviously after Dexter was being interrogated by Angela, he gave the information about the Jim Kurt Cobble's obviously secret basement where he keeps all those dead bodies of those girls. She goes there, sees all of them, is completely scared and mortified. Dexter obviously is alone in the police station with nobody except, of course, Captain Logan. I thought that was very funny and quite pathetic. I'm like, well, you have Dexter as this big, huge serial killer. You leave him alone with only one police officer. So, like I said before, this ending was terrible. It was sloppy. It was no big, huge, shocking twist. Like, no, it would have been more shocking if Dexter actually didn't tell Harrison to shoot him with his rifle that he got him. That was so stupid. Would have been better if actually Harrison said, you know what, my dad's gonna get caught. We gotta get out of here. He actually turns on Coach Logan and kills him. That actually would have been more shocking to me. Or if Dexter obviously would have actually had to try to get away. Harrison helped him escape. He got in the car, drove away, and he got into an accident with Angela. Dexter obviously ended up not being the one to kill Angela, but Harrison did. That would have been more shocking. And you know what's funny? Actually, would have been even more shocking if after Dexter was shot by Harrison, which obviously happened, he turned on Angela and killed her. That actually would have been more shocking because this whole thing was pathetic. Harrison just drives off into the sunset, leaves the town. Felt kind of lame, like the ending to Breaking Bad when Jesse left after Walter White got killed. He just drives off, and that's the end of that. I'm like, he's gone, and you won't see him again. It felt like that to me. Like, that was just terrible too. I mean, Walter White getting killed, I know some people said it was inevitable to happen. But just Jesse driving off like that was actually just like laughable. I didn't think it was funny. It was actually pathetic. But this is obviously another pathetic ending too. Dexter being killed. I actually would have liked it if some people were saying, I think in the comment section, if Dexter's gone, if it were possible to have Harrison come back, but Dexter to talk to him as he is dead, as the new apprentice, to his dark passenger, just like his father Harry did, to help guide him along the way to learn the code, to obviously track people down, take them out, as a new, I guess you can say, Bayhammer Butcher version of him, obviously, or as Vigilante Justice, as Harrison pointed that out a couple weeks ago. He said, "You're just like Batman. This is some Vigilante Justice type stuff." And Dexter said, "Yes." Coach Logan, the police captain, was killed by Dexter. He snapped his neck in the holding cell. He tricked him. Dexter got him by the neck. He grabbed his gun. He told him, "Give me the keys instead." Well, excuse me. He grabbed the keys. He told him not to grab his gun, not to be a hero, is what Dexter said in his mind. And he ended up not doing that. And then he snapped his neck when he shot the gun at him and almost missed Dexter's ear and almost killed him, kind of grazed him or shot him. Possibly could have killed him. When Angela left, called Teddy, the other police officer, young kind of guy who's kind of like supposed to be looked at as like goofy, dumb. She called him, told him, "Where's Logan? I haven't heard anything from him." And then she says, "Oh yeah, he's alone at the police station with Jim Dexter, aka Jim Lindsay." She says, "Oh damn." Realizes she screwed up, goes there after she found all those dead bodies that Dexter revealed to her and brought her to. After that happens, she sees him dead lying there, and after that, that's the end of that. She never finds him. Dexter goes to the woods to meet up with Harris after he tells him to. After he gets Logan's phone, calls him on it, and then he pops up there to talk to him, and they have a final confrontation. Before that, minutes later, Dexter's son Harrison is actually sitting down with his police captain, with the police captain, Captain Logan, who's also his wrestling coach, talking to him about what's going on with your dad, which I thought was stupid because when someone gets arrested, they usually don't ask their kids questions, even though that they're not there. to help them, even though he's legally 18. But still, I mean, isn't that kind of stupid? Like, do you know what happened to your father in the Kirk Caldwell before you got there? And excuse me, with Matt Caldwell. And do you know anything about that? Harrison said, no, I got there later in town, which is obviously not true. He lied about that. He saw his dad shoot, obviously, Matt Caldwell. And also, he saw Matt Caldwell kill that white deer, which he obviously was not allowed to do because that was illegal. And he shot that deer on sacred Indian reservation land / indigenous people. So that's where they Angela is a Native American. There's a lot of Native Americans that live in the town, and she's the police chief there. So it's a small knit town that they have all there in the community. A lot of them are helping Dexter / Jim Lindsay and Harrison clean up the remains of all their house that was burnt down. So, like I said before, and in the end, Harrison tells Dexter he wants to live a normal life and be just regular. Obviously, it's too late for that. And Dexter told Harrison, "This is the only way out. You shoot me with the rifle I gave you weeks ago," and he did. We obviously knew Dexter, like I said, was going to be arrested, obviously, because this right here, as you can see, that happened in the episode. This was given away at the end of the last episode. So at the end of season 1, episode 9, they actually let us know, yes, Dexter is going to be brought into custody, but we obviously didn't know because they didn't show this part. They only showed his neck. They showed his head. They showed his essentially his neck. They didn't show his hands where he had his obviously you can see his name right here. They didn't do that. They only showed us this his whole border of him taking a picture as his obviously his mugshot, but they didn't show what was in his hands. So I thought that this was obviously them tricking us to think Dexter obviously did not get caught by the police. He almost did, but him and Harrison got away, and this is him taking his new photo for his new identity that he's going to have, because obviously, like I said, he has a new one, which is Jim Lindsay. He can't use Dexter Morgan anymore or Jim Lindsay, so we'd have to use another name. So we didn't know about that, but that obviously didn't happen. And Dexter obviously ended up dead, and that's essentially what happened. Harrison shot him with that rifle after he asked him to, bled out in the snow, and then Angela got there about 5 minutes later, and she let him go. And that was it. Oh, yeah, and by the way, how stupid was it that they decided to tease Detective Batista coming to help Angela when they didn't even show him? Because he said, I'll be there the next day tomorrow. There's not going to be that at all. That was so stupid. I was like, why would you tease that if they're not actually going to have anything about it? The whole situation with Captain Carla, whatever her name was, being killed by Dexter. Apparently he has some theories about that, but there was never enough evidence to actually attack Dexter with it, because he killed Dokes and obviously her as well, even though her and Batista were together, and obviously they were married. So he said my ex-wife. So that's basically what happened. We scroll down here to she's right here. Luna Lauren Velez as Maria LaGuardia, and this is when they actually arrested Dexter in season 7, episode 12, which I think was possibly towards the end of the series. Yeah, he killed her, but I have a theory and a lot of evidence on that, but there was never anything enough evidence to take Dexter down and arrest him. But Batista was able to tell Angela, I'll drop everything and come to Iron Lake immediately tomorrow, which is obviously not going to happen, and it did not happen. So that was a stupid tease, by the way, by Clyde Phillips and whoever decided to tease that. Obviously, you see Deborah here holding Dexter's hand, which is obviously what happened when he started dying at the end of this episode, just today, when it was aired. Actually, excuse me. It was aired yesterday on the 9th of January 2022. This is after Dexter got killed by Harrison. Harrison told Angela, you can arrest me, whatever, but she didn't. The FBI and the CSI are going to be there, and they're going to scrub the place down and find out anything. Yeah, so this is what some people are saying. Harrison couldn't have pulled off on the side of the road where we get to see Dexter sitting next to him and talking to him. No, Dexter isn't Harrison's dark passenger. I'm just going to skip that because those comments are irrelevant, but people saying the audience, I don't know why somebody would call themselves the audience themselves. People will write really stupid comments on these websites. But anyways, this person says, just throwing it out here, guys, but why can't Dexter come back for Harrison in his mind like Deborah did for Dexter? Then we can have Harry Dexter teaching Harrison the code in the next generation with Dexter hallucination. Some people are saying this would be a small role for me to keep interested. I watched Dexter for If they go forward with another season, we just get to see him for 5 minutes every episode, I definitely would pass. So they're not interested. Some people are saying I'm not interested. The only reason I watch the show is because of Michael C. Hall, who plays Dexter Morgan. I don't care for the rest of the Dexter cinematic universe. No, thank you. This person also says, and this comment, it's a hard pass for me too. Plus, I dislike Harrison now, so I would never watch the show with Harrison taking over as the new blood. Um, Horrible choice of ending, worst possible choice. I agree. Why bring Dexter back just to kill him off? I kind of like the idea that he made it out in the first season. New Blood was amazing. In the first season, I think he means the final season until the end. M99, ketamine, cocaine, meth, weed. I really don't care. But what I do care about is why does Dexter have to die? I've always been a fan for the show, of the show from day one. This really hurts me. Harrison is not Dexter. It wouldn't even be the same, even if he did make a sequel. Somebody says that they agree. I found Harrison annoying, to be honest. I can't believe he actually pulled the trigger. The show pulled me in because of Dexter. Now that he's gone, no longer interested. Somebody's saying that this got old fast, and that made me roll my eyes every time. No hallucinations, no flashbacks, no prequels. Just continue Harrison's life from exactly where we left off. Thank you very much. Not really, but I don't care. That's exactly what is going to happen, and it's probably not going to happen. Somebody says because Deborah isn't Deb, she's just a figment of Dexter's imagination, and therefore she cannot be given Harrison any information that he doesn't already know. That's not true. She states that in the show as well, if Dexter came back the same way, he couldn't teach Harrison anything new. He could act as a physical embodiment of his dark passenger, though. I don't know about that. But yes, I think Dexter should come back as Harrison's alter ego. He can't fight the urge to kill forever, so maybe he just doesn't realize or just disassociates his need to kill with Dexter, and he may not even know that he's the one killing. So his normal mind can't live in peace. I watched that for sure. Can't wait to see what they decide to do with the fate of Harrison. Some people say this needs to happen. This person says this is a good idea. It could be like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde situation, where on screen Harrison would turn into Dexter when acting on with his dark passenger calls. This person said, so many plot holes here. This was totally unearned. For example, it was never ketamine that Dexter used in the original show. It was M99. All the evidence was sketchy. A semi-decent public defender could have gotten him off with those charges. All of this evidence was circumstantial. Found by an ex-lover. Get out of here. I long for the lumberjack ending. I agree. I hate this ending. It left me feeling empty with nothing to look forward to. That's one comment. Exactly. He was going to get away with it easily, and he just kills that cop for no reason. Ridiculous. Dexter would have never done that. Is what they're saying. I think substituting this one comment says, I think substituting ketamine for M99 is really a minor point in the big picture. Don't know what M99 is used for commercially, but we know ketamine is used for farm animals, so it was probably the way for the writers to switch it. Dexter could ask for it without people getting instantly suspicious, yet it was the clue for the police chief when she found the substance in Dexter's victims. Somebody says this series could have been so good, but it wound up being cheap and unearned with major plot holes in the original series. He was sedating victims with M99, not ketamine, in the original Dexter series. All these years, and he gets defeated by a Google search and a extremely circumstantial evidence from extremely circumstantial evidence from a scorned lover. Come on now, I missed the lumberjack ending. Somebody says, I agree with everyone. How could they have ended it like this? I would have watched it 5 more years ago. For 5 more years if they did it that way. We all can watch this because we love the old series, and that's what we wanted. How could Michael C. Hall agree to end it this way? Showtime should have not agreed to do this, in my opinion, because they have a gold mine in this show. So many people would have watched it for more seasons. I predict Harrison would kill Dexter. It was one of the predictions I was really pissed off the most about. Showtime, 2 biggest money makers. This is one of them. And this show and Shameless, Dexter and Shameless, are Showtime's 2 big moneymakers, and they killed any chance that Dexter can come back. The lumberjack ending was much better. I never disliked the lumberjack ending, mainly just hated that Deborah died, which is what happened at the end of Dexter's 7th season when he had the beard and as a lumberjack, and Deborah died, and we saw him obviously moving into this Jim Lindsay situation. Identity, which we obviously didn't know nothing about that. Obviously, what happened at the time at the end of the original show, and it ended. This person who's under the name Jim Lindsay, which is Dexter's obviously new identity on the show, says that's not a plot hole. In the original show, he uses M99, but explains that you have to be registered to use it, and then goes on to prove that he is registered under a fake name. He uses ketamine in New Blood because he has animals and could argue that he needs ketamine for them. Also, Angela never says that past victims had ketamine in their system. She just pointed out the needle mark that only one victim had. She cites ketamine for what was the drug dealer that was killed during this show. I think that it's about time that the police actually noticed a pattern in his killings. It shows a sense of realism about the police system that really shows how difficult it would be to get away with murder in the real world, and that police always find a pattern. You're right, but there's lots of people who get away with killing people all the time who are never obviously figured out. And it just happens. That's why there's like lots of cold cases that you always see on TV. You never find out who killed these people. So, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, they even changed the wording so slightly. Do you ever think he's a serial killer? Comment so important that he uses two different screen names. Oh, never mind. See, the end of New Blood was horribly rending. If Dexter is dead, that's the end. Please do not create anything with Harrison. I think the only way this whole show could be saved if all this was one of Dexter's imaginations of how things could have go if he was to try and break out of jail. Somebody says I agree. It was it was so stupid that I'm having a hard time believing this was a real ending. I go for the Harrison season. Some of us here hope so. That they hope that they make it. Someone says no. That's good. Overall, great finale and great season. The end of the season did feel rushed and could have used another episode or two, but otherwise, I thought it was well done. Yeah. Somebody says if there's a new series with Harrison, I probably will not watch it because he's no Dexter Morgan. And yes, I'm hugely disappointed that this has come to an end. I do not agree at all. Somebody says that they agree 100%. Somebody said that Dexter can't die. Writers ruin everything. He managed to escape so many years. He could have easily been bailed out. Why would they need to kill Logan and then die? The end defeats the purpose of Dexter being who he was. If he won't be in other seasons, I'm done here. I don't want to see Harrison. I want Dexter. Don't go create him as Harrison's imagination because he was the lead. He was the lead. Harrison was not. Writers came back after 8 years to break viewers' hearts by killing Dexter. That's so fair and unbalanced. Somebody else says I rewatched the entire 8 seasons of Dexter 5 times now. I absolutely love Dexter. Yes, finally a comeback and then kill him off. I'm beyond upset. So essentially, obviously, as you can see here, these people obviously are not happy about this on Deadline's article right here. But as a lot of them are pointing out, myself included, yes, this was a sloppy and rushed ending. And it was predictable. There was no big, huge, shocking finale twist. Dexter getting killed by Harrison was obviously something that people obviously discussed on Deadline. I've been seeing that for weeks now. So this was no big, huge deal as far as a twist or as people are shocked. I'm not actually knew Dexter could have done it, but I actually didn't think Harrison was going to be asked by Dexter to kill him. He said, "It's okay, son. Just shoot me with the rifle I gave you a couple weeks ago for Christmas." That's exactly what happened. And I thought actually a better twist would have been Harrison would have bailed Dexter out of jail. Coach Logan said, I can't let your father, I can't do this. Your father has to stay in here. I can't let you guys go. Harrison ends up shooting him. It is what it is. Harrison shoots him. They get away and they ride off into the sunset. They get new names and move to Argentina or Cuba. I don't know. Harrison was in Argentina, so he's familiar with their surroundings down there. So that could have happened. That did not happen. Or Harrison busts in to save Dexter. He gets caught. Has to end up shooting Angela. He leaves. Coach Logan comes in, finds that her bleeding, calls it in. Dexter and him are gone. Obviously, it would have worked because Dexter stole Captain Logan / Coach Logan's police car to drive it all the way into the woods and where they used to live at. Their house was burned down, obviously, by Kirk Caldwell in that last episode, which was season 1, episode 9 of Dexter New Blood. That actually could have happened, but that didn't happen at all. So that's the end of that. I don't want to watch the show at all again or rewatch it. I actually would do what everybody else is doing and go on Hulu, which I have, and rewatch every episode and season of Dexter over and over again to watch that to see how things go to build up to the ending again, because I haven't done that in years. That would actually be more entertaining than this because, it's more fun. Dexter on a new show will continue off where he left off in a new show with a bunch of new characters. Everybody was new except Michael C. Hall. Nobody else was reoccurring. They showed a flashback of the Trinity Killer. Like I said, the guy playing Harrison, I don't think it's the same kid that played him years ago on the show originally, but really, regardless of the fact, it doesn't matter because that kid was like about 7 years old. This guy's 18, probably not. I didn't look into it. Doesn't really matter now. I don't care. But like I said before, whole new cast. The Molly girl who was doing the podcast, she was annoying and really pathetic, like a police officer would just let you bust into their office and start making martinis and saying, I'm the super big popular podcaster. I can help you solve this case. She acted like she was so smart, but she didn't see the fact that Kirk Caldwell obviously was a serial killer and he killed her. And I was laughing. I was like, she was like profiling all these people on her podcast for so many years, but and helping Angela find all these girls who she didn't know about. Obviously, she didn't know some of the girls that were missing, and to follow up about where they were at, if any of them were found again to resurface. But she ended up being lured to Kurt Caldwell's cabin in the woods and killed after Dexter obviously helped her, saved her. So how did he get her? Apparently, he got her at a one of the bars that she was outside of. They never actually showed him, Kurt Caldwell, grabbing Molly, drugging her and stuffing her into his car. They just showed him chopping a body up, and they led us to believe that obviously that was the case. Some people said that it was, so we didn't find out until last week that yes, Molly was killed. They just never showed it, but she was obviously not very smart and kept her eyes open like you thought she would. He grabbed her at her hotel. I don't know how he did it. I don't know how he did it though, but he did it because all her stuff was still there. So he grabbed her there. They never showed it though. So they never showed that. They never followed up on. Angela never looked into the guy who actually faked to be Matt Caldwell's son. Excuse me, Kurt Caldwell at that hotel. Remember that? They found out about that. Her and Molly. They said this guy is not Matt Caldwell. They never looked into that. I think it was the same guy who actually confronted Dexter at the truck stop, Harrison, and gave him the envelope to say, "Give this to your father," which obviously had the springs of Matt Caldwell's broken femur or his leg or his arm, all that in the above. That were in his body from the accident. Because remember they said titanium doesn't melt is what Angela told Dexter. Like I said, how sloppy was it that she was able to find that from that burned down house that they had in the cabin. But remember what she said, titanium doesn't melt. But she still was able to find it. House was burned down on rubble. There was a bunch of stuff there. Ashes, dirt everywhere. But yeah, she was able to find the spring to Matt Caldwell, a piece of his a body obviously there, which is obviously the springs that were inside of his body from his accident, along with the other ones that she had in her possession that Kurt Caldwell put in there before he came to knock on the door to her house in her mailbox. She told Dexter too, somebody gave me all these, and this is all from Matt Caldwell's body from when he had surgery, and you killed him. And this person left this note here that says you killed him on it, which is so stupid. Like this, that's some high quality detective work and very damning evidence that somebody would say, "Oh yeah, Jim Lindsay killed Matt Caldwell. Here's the evidence," but of the pieces of him that were left behind from his surgery that were springs inside of his broken bones that had to be reattached together. There's no proof of that. There was no evidence. Dexter could have got away with it. But essentially, obviously, Dexter said he knew that he obviously couldn't do that. Some people were saying that he didn't need to kill Captain Logan or Coach Logan, obviously, but he did, unfortunately, because remember, even after Dexter would have to, see, this is the thing. If Angela came back to the police station, told Dexter, "I'll help you cut a deal. You won't get the death penalty, but you'll get 25 years or whatever," which was never going to happen in the first place. Obviously, she would have to say that you cooperated, help me with all this evidence. But get this, how is she going to run that? "Oh yeah, the Bay Harbor Butcher helped me take down another serial killer that's been in our town for over 25 years, killing girls, kidnapping them, and that's going to help me boost my profile as the police chief down there." She could have never have done that and got away with it. She would be embarrassed, and she would have to quit her job and leave Silver Lake, and her adopted daughter couldn't stay there. You know how dumb that would look? Let me bring the FBI in. Oh, and by the way, she was dating Dexter for years. You know how bad that makes her look? Again, look at all that. Look at all these strikes that are going up against her. You live with him. You were dating him. He's been in your house. You've known him for years, and yet you've been dating a serial killer. She couldn't bring that to the public at all. But everybody knows about it now anyways, obviously in the police station. So it's too late for that. So there was no public outcry or public conference that she could have gotten. How is that going to work? Oh yeah, Kurt Caldwell played her. So look how bad she looks. Kurt Caldwell played her. Dexter played her, and she was she was dating Dexter, and Kurt Caldwell was helping the police station out and the whole entire community because he was a pillar of the community. So there was no way for Angela to get around this, to be hired as a detective for the FBI, or to be I guess that's basically it, or a profiler, because she's obviously the police chief. She's got the highest position in that small town. So the only thing higher than that would be to be an FBI agent, which she obviously was never going to do. Like I said before, this was never going to happen. Her coming back to Dexter to talk to Dexter and saying, "I found the bodies at Kurt's cabin that you gave me." But obviously, she has to go on record for this on camera. Dexter told that to her off camera. If Dexter and his lawyer came in, he would say, you can write me down as a I guess you could say a confidential witness, but Dexter probably would say, you know what, no, what, never mind. I want this out there, obviously, because he's going to be arrested and charged as the Bay Harbor Butcher. And she told him, you're going to be transferred back to Florida, where you're going to be arrested and tried as the Bay Harbor Butcher. And Dexter would say, no, I'm going to have this out there to damage you, obviously, because why would he let her get away with it? And Harrison, obviously, was never going to live with Angela and her adoptive daughter. That was never going to happen. And they were never going to move in with each other, so they obviously had to leave. But Dexter's son, Harrison, did not want to leave Silver Lake to go to go to Los Angeles. They couldn't go back to Miami or Argentina, which I thought they were going to go to, but that didn't happen at all. So that's basically it. The series finale was average. The regular series finale for Dexter, the original show, which ended in 2014, was much better than this. I gave this about a 4 out of 10. The one of season 7 of Dexter, which obviously was the original show, ended. I give it about a 6.5, possibly a 7 the most. That's it. There was some things obviously that led it to not be a perfect one, but it was still okay, much better than this, because we didn't see this coming at all. Well, I didn't see that happening at all in Dexter's original show. This obviously was something that we knew was going to happen. Yes, we knew about that. People were pointing this out weeks ago when I was making my other videos. Oh yeah, Dexter's going to end up killing Harrison. That's one of the possibilities. We knew that was going to happen. Like I said, plot twist would have been, like I said, Harrison helps Dexter break out of jail, kills Captain Logan, who is his wrestling coach as well, and also obviously possibly helps him kill Angela or injure her and cut her in her way, so they can remain out of their way, so they can hide their tracks and cut her obviously out of their path, obviously, so to stop them. But that didn't happen. Obviously, some high-speed chase or something could have happened, pursued, but that didn't take place. So that's basically it. That's the end of Dexter New Blood, and thank you for watching all my videos about this and my reviews. Let me know what you think about it. If you haven't seen the original Dexter show, if you have seen this, obviously now that's been happening. If you're not interested, obviously, into watching it, if you haven't obviously seen any episodes, but I mean, it was very fun and entertaining to see Dexter back, Michael C. playing him again. But like I said, there was no big, huge, shocking finale. We obviously knew this was a possibility. Like I said, it would have been way more shocking if Harrison would have obviously to help Dexter out of jail, because I actually would have never seen that coming. This happening was very predictable, and like I said, people knew about this for weeks, that this was a huge possibility, that Dexter was obviously getting helped by Harrison, by him helping him get bailed out of jail. Him killing Captain Logan would have been a big, huge twist, because he looked up to him as a father figure and as the wrestling coach. He just got his wrestling Letterman jacket in this episode with the rest of the team, and he enjoyed that, but obviously that's all over now. So we'll see what happens, obviously, but there more than likely will not be another season of Dexter New Blood, beginning with continuing off where Harrison left off, him probably having some new look and going under a new identity to pick up and finish what his father started in some type of way is not going to happen, or him doing that himself because he left everything behind in Silver Lake. So that's basically it for my video, and that's the end of it, and we'll see what happens. As far as any news goes, I don't think there's going to be another season. If there is, I'm not going to watch it. But we'll see what happens, obviously. Like I said, it would not be Dexter involved, but like I said, technically Michael C. would be involved in it, but like I said, even some people are saying they're not interested in seeing that. It would be weird anyways, because like I said, previously, thoughts of comments on people are saying down below in this article and for Deadline, more new characters, another new setting, and people only know Dexter and Harrison, and they just met this Harrison guy who's playing him this season. Not the original kid who played him years ago on Dexter's show. I don't think it's the same guy. But like I said, that's even my video, and my review for Dexter's New Blood series finale. It was only one season, 10 episodes, and that'll be the end of it for me. Thank you again for watching. That's it. Thanks, bye.